Hello everybody, how you doing today? It is a new day, it is a fresh day. I hope you're up, shaking and baking. You know, I always say that everybody that comes to the Paul Full podcast, they are killers. They are amazing, excellent people in their own right. But today, I've got an amazing guest. I go way back with Odun. Today, I have Mr. Odun Moloru Osineye. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did. You did a good job.
Odun is the co-founder and CEO of HIYALO. I was joking with him that it sounds like a Wyclef song. HIYALO, HIYALO. I met Odun in my WhatsApp group. Was it during the pandemic or 2021, 2022? I can't remember. He was a member of the WhatsApp community and he was participating, making results. Then he was a co-founder or something in some sort of fintech startup thingy thing. Yeah. And I knew that this guy was built for greatness. And then he told me about HIYALO idea. I was even supposed to invest. I don't know why. I didn't drop my money in that series. Yeah, how do you call it? His first.
Family and friends.
Now the guy left me, man. I've been saying that, man. I'm an investor in HIYALO. But hey, today I just want you to come and share your story with us and what happened. Why did you start this? I understand that you wanted to get a mortgage for a house to get a property in Nigeria, and the process was extremely burdensome, to say the least, and very, very excruciating. Then you said to yourself, you know what? I'm a self-agency person. I take personal responsibility. I've got tech skills. I'm young. I can bet anything, even if it feels I'll start all over again. And then you started HIYALO. Why? What problem do you solve? Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Very excited to be here.
I am too, brother.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so your question is why HIYALO? So prior to HIYALO, like you mentioned in the introduction, I was on the founding team of a fintech startup called My Stash, and we had been very lucky. I use that word lucky a lot, even though some of my friends say you work hard, it's hard work, but I know that there are a lot of people in this world that work hard, and. You know, we have been very lucky to have built the company from scratch and exited. We sold the company in 18 months for $4 million.
Wow.
Now, prior to the... And by the way, we just sold controlling shares at 51%.
So, Odun, you are rich. Man. I have a rich friend, man. Yo.
Well, disclaimer, there were investors in the company. I made some money. You know, my other friends also made some money, but we also had to return money to some of the investors. But it was a good deal. We had raised about $200,000. Selling at $4 million wasn't a bad deal.
Yeah, that's very good. At a valuation of what? How do you guys put it at?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So the valuation was $4 million. So we sold 51% for $4 million. So the entire company was valued at close to about $8 million at the time. And I think what's interesting about it is that all of this happened in just 18 months.
That's beautiful.
To make it more interesting, we had grown to about 30,000 customers within that period. And I was directly responsible for customer acquisition as the growth manager. Now, the reason why that background is necessary to the story of HIYALO is I was working. I was working on a Sunday afternoon, doing some research for my stash. So I was like super focused on just working on my stash. Then I stumbled on this video that was done by the CEO of Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank. It's on YouTube. Okay. And in that video, he had said that the mortgage bank, can make mortgage available to young Nigerians that are earning as little as 200,000 naira. And that was really strange to me. It's like, are you serious? Is this possible in Nigeria? And I thought, look, I could do this. I was earning more than that at the time. And so I thought I could do this, right? My extra income can go into into mortgage. And what I planned to do was take the mortgage. I'm young, I'm single. I could take the mortgage, put the house on rent, and then generate some rental income, and then use that rental income to continue paying back, the mortgage. That was the plan. So it was just supposed to be a business, a side hustle. But the process of getting the mortgage was really tedious. I had to send them an email, didn't get a reply. I went on LinkedIn, looked for staff of the company, just so you know how serious I was about getting this mortgage. I looked for staff of the company, and I think I looked for the CEO or something, sent them a DM on LinkedIn about 2 employees of the company, and then they sent me a list of documents that I needed to bring, and I needed to be in their office physically. And so I thought, no, this doesn't make sense. First, I wouldn't have the time to do that. I'm a very busy person. So
professional.
I decided, so I decided to do something about it. I thought, hey, there'll be a lot of young people like me who will be excited if they knew that they could take a mortgage, right, in Nigeria. And, so I decided to just build a technology that could simplify the entire process. And that's how HIYALO was born.
Walk us through HIYALO. Somebody's listening to us right now and say, okay, well, I've got money. How does this work? Are you connected to a bank? What's the deal here?
Okay, so yes, we had built HIYALO. The vision of HIYALO came from mortgage. But when I set out and I started doing the research, what I found out is that mortgage is a bit more complex and requires huge finance, right? I had 0 real estate experience, very little finance experience. I didn't know anything about finance when I started leading growth for my stash. And even at that, it wasn't so much of a finance company. We were a savings company. So I thought I needed some time to learn a bit more about the real estate industry, but I didn't want to waste time. I still needed to start. And so I said the easiest thing to do was to find a simpler way to get into that market. And so we started doing rent finance. So we launched as a rent finance company, right? With the vision of building a mortgage finance company, right? So today, what HIYALO does is that HIYALO finances rent for working professionals, right? So we partner with companies, we pay the rent for the employees, and then we're able to charge their salary account every month. Aside from partnering with companies, we also allow individuals to apply directly from the website, and of course, we access their credit score and credit rating. We verify their jobs, and then we also verify the apartment, the landlord, and then we transfer the money directly to the landlord, and then we start charging their salary account every month. Now, there's a new interesting model that we're just launching this year, and that is we are now partnering with landlords to take care of their finance. What we do is we tell landlords that, hey, we'll guarantee your rent, right? So you don't have to worry about getting rent from your tenants. We would guarantee your rent, and then we will get the tenants into the apartments. What that does for us is that it helps us to determine the rent, and then we don't have to sell rent finance to the tenants as a loan, because a lot of Nigerians are worried. Some Nigerians are scared about loans, right? So they don't want to take loans. So instead of that, all we do is we partner with the landlord, determine the rent. Of course, we would have marked up our interest. And then the tenant is able to pay their rent monthly. So it's a monthly tenancy. Whereas we took care of the
so
annual.
So you gave the landlord a 1-year rent up front.
Yes.
Take this a 1-year rent.
Yes, we give the landlord
you charge
1-year
the
rent.
tenant monthly rent.
Monthly pay at an
with
interest,
a markup.
Yes, with a markup.
Oh, I see.
That's what we do today.
So you are like a marketing company, is it? Because you have to get people into those houses.
Pretty much, right? So pretty much what we have done on the back end, on the front end, people can apply for rent finance. On the back end, we've built a technology that connects multiple banks to the system, right? So we have banking partners on the back end. When customers, so talking to you about how the operations work now is we've gone out to close partnerships with banks and financial institutions. And then when a customer applies from the front end, our risk manager is able to access the application and then distributes that application to the relevant financial institution based on the profile of the customer. And then, of course, the customer just gets an email, oh, it's done, we credit the money, and all of that. But that's
how many users you currently have?
Yeah, so we have, last year we disbursed about 20 million naira. We did that in the last 6 months of last year because we actually started disbursing money sometime around June. So we disbursed about 20 million naira to 33 people so far. However, we've had about 600 applications, right? So you will see that the percentage of the applications that we have gotten versus the percentage that is approved is like a distance apart. And the reason is just the primary reason is the credit rating of people, right? So we have a lot of Nigerians.
How do you do credit rating? How do you do credit rating in Nigeria?
Yeah, good question. So there are credit bureaus in Nigeria. A lot of people don't know, but
I've never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, there are credit bureaus.
All my life in Nigeria, I've never heard anybody tell me about my credit score.
Interesting, right? So we're currently building something now that allows people to just on our landing page, customers be able to just check their credit score, just pay a token and just check your credit score.
That would be a perfect service.
Yeah, and
you can sell that to a real estate company.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot
service, as a software, as a service.
Okay, that sounds really good.
As a SaaS product.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I'm catching the idea.
Yeah.
Because
it helps them to verify the people that want to buy their property from them. Because a lot of time they spread their payment for 24 months or 12 months. And sometimes, which is, the space, a lot of them are stuck. The guy pays for only 6 months and he ghosts.
Yeah.
You get me? But if they do a credit score, it will help them to determine on the closing of the deal.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, fantastic. So we do that already today on the back end. Now we want to push it to the front end because we are finding that we're getting a lot of people with bad credit history, and they can know this up front, right? Before they even apply, and that's like what we're doing right now. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's how HIYALO works. This year, our goal is to disburse 1 billion naira. Last year we did 20 million, right? 1 billion, that's maybe like 5,000x or something like that. And then the question is, when we resumed this year, and I told the team that our goal is to do 1 billion naira, everybody was like, okay. and the basis for that goal is that last year we spent the entire year doing a lot of things. And the reason is because we're new in the space and we needed to learn how the real estate market works. Find out who are the important personalities, who do we need to learn from, who do we need to work with and partner with and stuff like that. And interestingly, I can tell you for free that HIYALO has done things in real estate in 1 year that some real estate agents haven't done in 5 years.
Tell me one of those.
And I'll tell you. And the reason why I say that is because they are the ones telling me that, are you serious? You launched in January 2023 and you have done this. I'll tell you. Today, in the last 1 year, aside from rent finance, aside from funding people up to 20 million naira, we have 2 commercial properties in Lekki Phase 1 that we manage today as property managers. And the purpose for getting into that business was to just learn how the management business works. Aside from that, we have about 5 properties that we also have in the short-let markets. The purpose of doing that, which interestingly has been profitable, the purpose of doing that was also for us to learn how that industry works, and then we're trying to figure out like what gaps exist in the real estate market that we can fill with technology. Another interesting thing that we have explored last year, and we're still exploring, is diaspora repatriation of funds into the real estate market.
Yeah.
About 20% of the diaspora remittances in Nigeria goes into the real estate market, and a huge chunk of that is lost because a lot of people abroad want to build houses. They send money to some uncle or some brother, to build the house for them. The guy either builds rubbish or doesn't even build anything at all, and goes away with their money.
The latter is mostly the issue.
Exactly. So, so part of the things that we've looked at working with a particular real estate company is to see how we can help close that gap, build an infrastructure that just creates a lot of trust in the real estate market. However, our focus so far has still been rent financing, but we're currently already exploring mortgage financing. But yeah, real estate financing as a whole is what our focus is right now.
Fantastic. So in terms of brand awareness and sales and marketing, how do you get your clients? How do you get your leads? How do people know that you guys exist? What's your playbook like?
So the most effective playbook,
and I mean, being the fact that you have a background in growth marketing, and now you're CEO. So if you combine those two skill sets, I'm sure that helps.
Yeah, it does. It actually does. Our most effective playbook, honestly, has been partnerships. Number one, the key one is partnership with Nigerian Property Center. Nigerian Property Center is the biggest Nigerian property marketplace in Nigeria today. Has the highest number of visits. I think they get about 1 million visits a month, something like that. And so what we have done is to partner with them, and that partnership allows us to have some visibility under every single property that is listed on the Nigerian Property Center. So if you go to Nigerian Property Center today and you click a property that is, I think, 5 million naira and below, you would see, even up to 8-10 million, you would see pay monthly with HIYALO right below the property. Yeah. So that has been massive. This January alone, we've gotten up almost 100 applications already in January alone.
That's free leads for you, man.
Yeah, and January is just starting. So we're already on track to close like similar partnerships. Very simply, this is how we're going to launch in other countries, because we're already looking at that. Like I could go to Ghana and just partner Ghana Property Center and stuff. So that's the most effective one. Content marketing has also been very useful. Content marketing has been very useful. Then finally, we partner directly with companies. So we go to companies and say, so we've been to Airtel, for example, we've been to KPMG, we've been to, some of the major companies in Nigeria, and even, mid-size and smaller companies too. So we go to the companies and then partner directly with HR to say, hey, HR, this is a good employee benefits package, right? Let your employees know that they can pay their rent monthly. And so those are primarily, how we acquire customers. And as I'm sure you can already imagine that it is cheap. So our customer acquisition, our customer acquisition strategy costs us very little.
Your customer acquisition cost must be cheap.
Yeah, we're not running everywhere. We're not doing everything, We're heavy on content marketing. We create a lot of videos if you check out social media. But the partnership with Nigerian Property Center, we don't move a needle. We don't do anything. It just comes. Then we also partner with companies. Then we are currently having the first conversation to start partnering with payroll companies. So there are payroll companies like Bento, for example, that have access to a lot of companies because they manage their payroll, right? And a simple API connection allows the employees using the app of that payroll company to see us on their, payment app. This is the app that they use to collect their salary, right? And that kind of partnership even secures our funds even further, because the payroll company will deduct the rent automatically, and give it to us monthly, so that the employee doesn't even get the salary, doesn't even get it as part of their salary.
Very good. Very good. So essentially, you use the sheep and the shepherd strategy. So that means if you get the shepherd, you get all the sheep connected to that.
100%. Something I should just mention to you is we're building a system.
It's like you're doing one to many.
Yeah, you're right. I just wanted to add that we're building a. Recently, I was in a meeting. I just bumped into a meeting where people were talking to me about some guys from the UK talking about how some of them have a lot of money just stored up in their houses. They don't know what to do with it, right? And they're looking for opportunities where they can put it in companies like ours to finance, people in Nigeria, as long as we can find a way to ensure the collection. And so I started thinking, what if we build a simple wallet that allows private individuals to give out loans on the back of our platform? So you can fund your wallet with, 10, 20 million. You would have, there would be some terms and conditions. So you are kind of like a bank without, relying on our licenses and stuff. You can give out loans. We have all the infrastructure to collect the money back, and you can always receive your money back in your wallet. So that's like.
But I hope that's like a long-term play, because I like to use the power law so that you're using one strategy. You're really going. You are betting heavily on what you're currently doing first, before you get moved to the other one. This is a great. So if somebody says, Paul, I've listened to your conversation with Odun, I like it, I want to sign up, where did they go to?
www.HIYALO.com.
Or somebody says, or somebody says, I live in America, I want to pay the rent of my uncle in Nigeria.
So it's
another strategy that you guys can even do, self. So that Nigerians in the diaspora can pay rent for their relatives monthly off the back of what you guys are doing.
That's definitely very possible. I think we can get there. So it's
because there are Nigerians that send money to their relatives in Nigeria. They send a 2-year rent and the money goes away. But if they structure it with you guys like this, they get the rent every single month.
That's definitely somewhere we can get to. So anyone who is interested can just visit HIYALO.com, www.HIYALO.com. HIYALO is spelled HIYALO. HIYALO.com.
So check out HIYALO and sign up. And if you are listening to this, you don't live in a cool apartment, you can pay monthly rent from HIYALO, just like it happens in the UK or in America, in Dubai, anywhere. So hey, they make your life easy, and like they say, there's always a technological solution to a lot of problems. So I really like what you're doing. You saw a problem, you didn't cry over the problem. You say, you know what, I'm going to fix this problem, and as you are fixing the problem, you are getting paid. So I just wanted the world to hear this story, and I'm very happy for what you're doing, Odun. I believe that you will do a lot of big things. But before I let you go, I want to ask you, what are some of the challenges of doing business in Nigeria, and how have you overcome them? Because there are a lot of challenges, man.
Yeah, man. Like, we breathe them, live with them every day. It's like when you do business in Nigeria, after some time, or maybe it's just your mindset and the kind of person you are, like it's just normal to deal with the challenges in the ecosystem in Nigeria. But I would say that for a startup founder in times like this, I think one big challenge is fundraising. I think fundraising has always been a challenge, right? But I think that in the tech ecosystem, at this particular time where there's a global meltdown, funding has really slowed down. It's becoming increasingly challenging. However, it's also an opportunity. It is also an opportunity, because like when you look at the history of the world and how like when great companies were built, the greatest companies in the world were built during recessions. They were built when the economies are bad. I mean, Airbnb today is valued at $80 billion. Airbnb was built during a recession because I think that the resilience that the founders built in those period of recession and slow capital,
those tough times,
sort of helps you live or survive longer than someone who had it, like so easy. Like 2019, 2020, 2021, like capital was flowing into Nigeria, like, so easily. Any university student builds a simple app, before you know what's going on here, he has raised $1 million. But all of that money, or most of that money, has gone down the drain, right? So investors have woken up, and investors are now doing proper due diligence. I'm excited about it, to be honest, because it means that they can now see real businesses, real entrepreneurs, people that are serious. Exactly. It's easier to identify serious, founders now, and that's why I said it is a challenge because it's tough. But it is also an opportunity. But somehow we are weathering that storm. We have been able to raise a family and friends round of about $40,000 last year. Right now, we are opening a pre-seed round of $600,000 because we had raised that $40,000 with literally just goodwill, my experience, and stuff like that. Now we have some track record. Now we have some technology. Now we have some monthly active users. Now we have some partners. We've put in some work. We've demonstrated some traction. We feel more confident to go out and tell investors that, hey, this is the next big thing that is happening to Africa. So funding is definitely one of them. I think another thing in our ecosystem will be trust, right? So we are in the credit business. HIYALO is in the credit business. And that's quite risky. But again, like because it's risky, the opportunity and the upsides are huge, if we're able to make it work. I think that's another challenge. Like I told you, we've had 600 applications. We've only financed 33 of them. Right. Imagine if we're able to, 10% of 600 is 60. Right. If I have financed 30 people with 20 million naira, if I'm doing 60, then I would have disbursed about 40 million naira.
Sorry, you're financed just like 5% currently.
Exactly. We're financing just about 5%. The conversion rate is about 5%. And the primary reason is credit score, bad credit history, right? So that is forcing us to start thinking, how can we help Nigerians to build their credit score? What can we do to help them build their credit score? What system can we create to help them build credits, a better, credit habit? So that's another challenge, that we face. Of course, there's also the human capital challenge in Nigeria. There are a lot of people looking for jobs, but not a lot of talents, are available. Our best talents in most cases are always leaving the country. But again, I would say that HIYALO has been very lucky. We have the best people in the world, to be honest. I have the best team. So I think that we've also been very lucky. We've had a bit of attrition in the process of like sifting the wheat from the chaff, identifying the best people. We've had to let people go at different instances. But right now we have a very fantastic team. I think I would stop there. I'm not very big on like challenges. You see, I'm even thinking about it because every challenge
on the opportunity
they always seem like an opportunity. Oh, there's a global meltdown. Airbnb was built then. Uber was built then 15 years ago. So
This is very good. Odun, where can people find more about you? I know you are very active on X. We don't call it Twitter anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've actually slowed down quite a bit, spending a lot of time working on the business, but I'm definitely coming back. But yeah, my handles are Odun Osineye everywhere. X, Instagram, LinkedIn, yeah, Odun Osineye, Odun Osineye, Osineye. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm gonna put a link to your business in the show notes and then let people check you out. So thank you everybody for coming on for listening to today's episode of the Powerful Podcast. Please write a review. Click on the subscribe button if you're listening to this on Spotify or on Apple. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash the subscribe button, write a review, say hello to Odun, and tell us what you learned from the episode. Thank you very much, everybody.
And
God bless.
And if you are an investor, please reach out to me.
Yes. Reach out to the man, man.
Thank you.